What's up, YouTube? Welcome to more trades. Okay, we're gonna go in the charts and see what's happening with Bitcoin, Ethereum, the DXY, the Nasdaq, the US 100, and we're gonna look at everything and how the markets are playing, and what should we expect uh, coming coming in the next few hours or the next few weeks. You can see that if we look at Ethereum and Bitcoin, they look like they're done with the dump, but we'll only be able to confirm that once we convert levels of resistance into levels of support. At the moment, I'm looking at Bitcoin, Ethereum, and looks like Ethereum is taking the value area high of January 2020, and it might convert it to support. That would tell us that we're going further up, and we have more upside, but we also have resistance levels if we go higher, but we'll see what's going to happen. Are we just going to retrace to the 50 EMA or the 55 EMA? So let's see where our EMAs are lying at the moment. If we look at this on the 15-minute chart, it looks like we're above the 55, which is good. On the hourly, we still have the 55 at 1459 for Ethereum. That will be a level of resistance if we get there. This is on the hourly. On the 4-hourly, let's see if we had a bearish cross. We still didn't have that bearish cross. Once the 8, 13, and 21 cross the 55 in orange, then you can say you have a bearish cross, and you could confirm your further move to the downside if the next candle opens and closes below the 8 EMA. This is an indicator I use sometimes, EMA savvy. It gives you signals. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're fake outs, especially when we're ranging back and forth. They could give you false signals or late signals, but when you're in a trending market, it's pretty good. Like now, it gave that EMA cross, not now, on the 15th of June, and we've been going up until we peaked on the 24th of June. So that was like 9 days of up movement from this indicator. Other than that, I have other indicators that indicate we might be expecting another move. When I say another move, I mean a significant move in Ethereum. You can see it's going lower. The ATR on the hourly, which I like watching, is quite low. You can just compare it. You don't have to know the numbers, but just compare it when we were here and we had the pump up. What was the value of ATR at this point? It was at 11.42. So once we start getting down to those levels, then you know that you have a big move possibly incoming. It's a result of the market consolidating for some time. So we might have a move up or move down. Just tells you the market is consolidating. On this chart of Bitcoin, if we look at it, the ATR on the hourly is at 207. I like it to be below the 207. Then I can say, okay, we're having a possible move incoming. When we start having moves that are way lower than that, when we start having values of the ATR that are much lower than that, say at the 190, 180 range, then I know that. But for now, how I'm trading Bitcoin, we're below a level that I had before. I had marked it as weekly resistance, and I left it there because I see Bitcoin likes to trade and acts and reacts around this range. So look at this pink dotted line. You can see that sometimes it's support or resistance, or sometimes we're just around it stalling, and then we get a move. You can see it from when Bitcoin dropped here. We had it once over here, twice, 3 times. I mean, it's quite a significant level. And you can mark the top of the range and you can see the same. These lines on the chart are just Fibonacci channels that I had, that I use them for trading, not solely on them. I don't just trade Fibonacci channels. I watch other levels, fixed range volume profile. I also watch other targets, EMAs, crossovers, and the MACD. But they give me an indication of where could I find good support or resistance, and that's what I usually post in my videos when I post my next possible trade setups. At the moment for Bitcoin, if we pump up, this is on the 1 hour chart, we could even go as high as, this is not even looking at the EMAs, let's say we're just going up at 21,647 would be a good level of support, resistance, if and when we get there, considering that this is a weekly level that we're currently on. The weekly, let's look at the weekly. The chart is a bit too many lines, especially when you go to higher time frames. We look like we're about to have a bearish engulfing pattern. At the moment we have support above this level, weekly resistance, but I was saying that I expect we're going to have a red July, but if we go at the monthly, we're still not red. We're still in a weak green candle with a wick to the top. We may still have that red. We still have a few days left. We have the FOMC meeting coming up. They're going to announce the rate hikes. Are they going to give 75 basis point, or are they going to go for a full 100 basis point? We'll see. At the same time, we have the earnings for the tech companies, where they announce their earnings. We have some big companies that announced. I think Google announced today, Tesla, Google, Facebook, Amazon, all these big companies that make up a big portion of the Nasdaq. So if these come out negative, these companies, then you will see you would see an effect on the Nasdaq. And if the Nasdaq starts declining due to the big the shares that are held most by, say, Google, Facebook and all that, then you're going to see a decline in the Nasdaq. And since Bitcoin is almost strongly correlated to the Nasdaq, you will have a decline in Bitcoin, because Bitcoin, you could consider it something like a tech stock. I have another chart for Bitcoin. Let's go on the 15-minute or the 30-minute. 15-minute is better. I prefer the 15-minute because that's where you see the moves develop and you can see the patterns when they're starting. So let's go on the 15-minute and see what's happening ever since we dropped. If you count the drop and you say this whole move down was just a correction and we're going to continue up, how much have we corrected of this entire pull up that we had? So I take the fib retracement and I look from the bottom to the top, and Bitcoin came to the 0.65, 0.618, 0.65, the golden pocket, and now we're getting a reaction to that. That's a good level to retrace. So we say this is a 1 and this is a 2, and we're blasting off for a 3. Let's see if that happens. I don't know, these moves down look very they look strong, impulsive, but they kind of look like 3 waves down. They don't look like a 5 impulsive wave unless you go say 1, 2, 3. You can't even see it as a 5 wave move. It's quite difficult. However, my projection is that July is going to be a red month, but so far it's still green and Bitcoin is bouncing off. If we consider this whole move as a 3-wave move down, as maybe an A, and this is a B, and we're going down for C, or W, X, Y, then if we want to measure the last wave, how much have we gone down? A 1-to-1 would be a good measurement for an WXY, an ABC or WXY. And let's see, I'm not an expert in Elliott waves, but I know a few things. We exceeded the 1-to-1. And if we continue, we'll come to the 1.618. So I think that Bitcoin looks like, however, it came to the 0.618 of the entire move up, and that's a good, the golden pocket is the level that Bitcoin likes to jump off from. But we also got to this fib channel, the Fibonacci channel in red, and That is a level I had that Bitcoin acts and reacts to. As you see over here, we wicked it over here, and over here we had some consolidation, some wicks, and over here we struggled, we bounced off, and now we're back down. And now we're trying to bounce off. This green trend line over here is a trend line from this wick and this wick. It's a resistance line, and now that we're under it, it's not a good sign for Bitcoin. If we pump now in this single candle, it will be at 21,948. Actually, it will be lower than that because we had 21,942. And if you look at it now, if we take that in the 4 hourly, this is the 4 hourly chart, and plot this over here, 21,928. That would be a good resistance, since we had a wick over here and a wick over there, and we have sort of an order block over here at the same level. So that will be a level that could cause some problems for Bitcoin if we get there. This is on I have several charts that I chart my Fib channels differently to give me different views, and if I have confluence, then I see that the move is more probable to happen. Over here I have the Fibonacci time and my Elliott wave count from 69k, and I was saying that we are in a wave 4, and I still stick to a wave 4 to the upside, and I was saying that we will have wave 5. How high would wave 4 go? I'm not sure, but it went to an ideal point. I think it went to close to 0.382 of a wave 3. So if we take the Fib retracement over here from the top of wave 3 roughly to the bottom of wave 3, somewhere around here, you see we went up even above that. We went to the 0.5, which is still acceptable for a corrective wave 4. Wave 5, I have no target at the moment till I confirm the move down with the break of the 18.9 or even the 17.5. Then I can say, okay, wave 4 is done and we're down for 5. In the next day or so, we have the Fibonacci time incoming, and I've shown you in the past, if you watch my other videos that say Fib time incoming and all that we do have reactions on my Fib times. You can see over here perfectly we hit the Fib time. This is on the hourly, and we've descended ever since. And actually how I plotted this wave 4, look at it, it looks perfect. Looks like a trend line that we could reject from unintentionally, but at the moment I can even put a target here and say if we come up to 21,372, it would be a good level, since we wicked it once, twice, probably again on the third time. We never know. Fib time is incoming on the 28th of July my time. I'm on GMT +3, and it will be on the 28th of July at 2 p.m. But I always have this line that I draw in advance. It's called, I call it a trigger line, because I notice moves sort of happen before the Fib time by a bit. Sometimes I catch it, sometimes I don't. However, Fib time is not something you should trade on solely, and it doesn't mean that if it hits you're gonna get a dump or a pump. You might get a dump or pump, or you might get nothing. In the end of the day, if the Fed comes out and act dovish and say nothing bearish or hawkish, then the market will feel a relief. If they come out with 75 basis point tomorrow, I think it's tomorrow, the FOMC, then we can check it on Forex Factory and see when is the FOMC meeting, when are the rates going to be announced. If we see that and we go to calendars, what do we have for tomorrow? The 27th, FOMC statement, federal funds. Yeah, so that's tomorrow. That's before my Fib time. So if the FOMC come out hawkish, then that's going to cause the market to dump. But if the FOMC comes out and say, okay, we're going to just raise, people are projecting an increase in the rate hikes But if they come out and say, okay, we're not going to increase that much, we're just going to go for 0.75 or 0.5 even, we're going to cool off just before they go on holidays in August, then we'll be like, okay, the market will feel comfortable to start rallying again. They'll feel confident. On this other chart, I also have fib times differently. Let's look at other fib times that we've seen Bitcoin react to. The 1.618 was a good resistance and then turned to support. Once we get support on one of them, look at that pump. We came down, support again. It was a big wick. Look at that. You could have traded a short over there. It was resistance, came down, pumped, and didn't try support on any of these. This is on the hourly. Came to the next one, and you can't predict what they're going to do, but you can trade them. You can say, okay, if Bitcoin's under, then we might be expecting resistance. If we're above, then it's support. But if we're just zigzagging in it, it's kind of risky. At the moment, we're at this, I'm looking at this fib channel. This is the one I have right now. And I can put a target over here and say on the hourly, if I pump in this candle, I'm going to 21.454. So 21.3 to 21.5 would be a region I might be considering. But this move down that we had, it's a lot of liquidity. Bitcoin might even pump and come all the way here to retrace all that liquidity and go back to the EMA 50. Let's see on the hourly, the EMA 50, where is it? The EMA 50 at the moment is somewhere around the channel. Look at that. It's right over there. It's at 21.468. So that would be a good point for a retrace and then a drop down. But if we break above that, then you could say we're getting support and we might have the 100, but the 100 is sometimes not really a problem for Bitcoin. On this other chart of Bitcoin, I had plotted some trend lines. This trend line for some reason moved. I think it should be somewhere here. Yeah, somewhere there. We wicked above it and we were above it. That was good news for Bitcoin. We had support above this descending trend line and the ascending trend line. Actually, this trend line over here that you see is a bear flag. This is the top of the flag. This is the bottom of the flag. I have several trend lines over here. This is the descending trend line from this wick and this wick, and then I have this ascending trend line which is essentially the flag over here and over here. So the bad thing is that Bitcoin broke back into the bear flag and inside the descending triangle. So that's both not good for Bitcoin. And if you ignore these green trend line, I'm going to delete them, and you look at the channel that Bitcoin has been traveling in, the ascending channel, which can also be considered a bear flag, you will notice that we had a touchdown here. We almost touched it up here, came down, 2 touches, went up, came down, touched up here, broke above it, and we're back. We're coming down, and we really were very close to touching the 20,620. Will Bitcoin continue touching or break under and come back? That is yet to be seen. Now the DXY on the other hand has been doing good today. On the hourly, we had a dump. We had a pump, sorry. We had a good pump today. We are above this level of resistance. We're just above it. If we can get above this level, the 107.779, that will tell us further to the upside. We're above the 50 and the 100, and kind of looks like a flag, but flags don't always play out. You know how it is. But I anticipate highest side for the DXY. I had this target and we hit it almost to the dollar. I had it as a bull flag before it happened, and then we got the breakout and we got to the 109 region. But I had higher targets also for Bitcoin. looking at higher time frames up to the 120 for the time being. Bitcoin dominance chart, we don't have any gaps to say that we're gonna go to fill, except the gap that we have here around the 28k region. Ethereum, on the other hand, let's see where it is. It's trying to get above its 2021 January value area high. It's above it at the moment. Let's see if it will be able to hold it. If it can hold it, then that would be good news for Ethereum. As you see, it was support, could be turning to resistance, but now we're just above it and we're above the 50. We could go higher over here. As you see, we wicked it, came down, and we tried again, slightly came down, and we continued. And if you go back in time, you notice it was a significant level of 1,410 roughly. Solana, on the other hand, might come up to the 39. This region is a problem sort of for Solana. 39.84. And I had targets under here. I had marked them I had a target of 32 even. I had targets over here that for Solana, based on previous areas of support and resistance. This target's at $30.50, 29,993, 27.68, 27.08, and 26.69 if we even get there. The Dow Jones. If you look at the Dow Jones, how is it performing today? The Dow Jones is trying to make up for the move down and is trying to move higher. You can see how it's struggling at this level. If the Dow comes again to the 4K range, the 32,032, it will also struggle to break above. Dow Jones, the US 100, the Nasdaq, it's performing well. We might have a curve up. Let's look at the S&P 500. People would call this a bearish cross, a death cross. This is on a smaller time frame. If you go on the hourly, we don't have a death cross, but we're below the 50 EMA. Sometimes we retrace to it and break down. We came up to it and we opened much lower the next day or after the weekend. This is another chart of Bitcoin. Do I have any levels on this? No. Over here I have some levels. I had this channel before when Bitcoin was traveling in it. We broke above, good news, came down expecting support. Oh, it's going up. And then we came to this other level that I had, that I plotted previously from support and resistance from these wicks. Look at these two wicks that we have over here. And the orange lines are from there, and we wicked right at it and we broke down. So it's resistance now. And if we even come up, the top of the channel will also be a problem for Bitcoin at 21,902. I can remove that because if I click here, you'll see it on the price line, 21,861 and 2901. But Bitcoin looks like it wants to move up. Let's take a look at the volume. What do we have? Advanced volume and MACD. The advanced volume shows you the volume in an moving average cloud. So if we're above the cloud, that's good. Look, we had a good candle above the cloud. So that tells you, okay, volume is more than average. MACD is curling up on the hourly, so that's good. Let's look at the 15-minute. The 15-minute is also moving up. We didn't have a down cross, so maybe we'll be having more upside for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the rest of the market coming into tomorrow. The FOMC, Ethereum is at 1,410, so it is moving up. That's pretty good. All right, that's all my update for today. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe and share my videos. Put your comments, anything you want to know, any TA you need, just let me know. Watch my videos. I post daily updates, and I also post short videos. So if you search, you'll find a lot of short videos. Some of them are informative. Most of them are informative. Some of them just have some targets for the day, where probable targets for shorts and longs. You'll see the targets in red that are for shorts, and in green for longs. I post them in short videos while I'm on the move. Thanks for watching. More trade.